What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Niners News here on 49ers Hive. My name is Zach Hernandez, and today I'll be solo going over the keys to victory for the 49ers big Week 8 matchup in Seattle against the Seattle Seahawks. This game's a big one. It is the first matchup between the 49ers and Seahawks this year, and there's a lot on the line. The 49ers are currently 2 games behind the Seahawks for first place in the division. And it's a tight race. The NFC West has a good shot of all 4 teams making the playoffs, which is insane to think about. But the 49ers, although they got off to a rocky start this year, they actually have put themselves into a nice position, and I think they have a solid chance at winning this game Sunday. We'll get into the keys to victory here, but guys, I just want to say real quick, if you're new here, do us a solid, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment below. We always, on our preview videos, if you comment the final score prediction, and if you get it right, we'll send you some free merch. So if you're watching this right now, drop a comment below. If the game hasn't started yet, what do you think the final score will be? And if you're right, we'll send you some free merch. But yeah, getting back to this preview, I think the major keys to victory, and a lot of these are probably going to be common sense, but you got to keep the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands. I think as long as the 49ers control the tempo of this game, they'll be all right. They cannot give Russell Wilson time to cook, as they say in Seattle, to find Lockett or Metcalf down the field, whatever the case is. They need to control the tempo. They need to get out fast and score early on their first possession like they have the last couple of weeks. And just, set the tempo right away, because if not, Russell Wilson is one of the best, if not the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And he can carve up just about any defense. So the 49ers are going to need to play keep away, essentially, with their running game. And it actually shouldn't be too difficult, which takes me to my next key to victory is the Seahawks as a whole. Their defense is historically bad. Pro Football Focus, last week overall, I think their defense overall had a 58.9 grade, and the highest grade on the entire year was against the Vikings when they had a 69.4, which is pretty bad. So I feel like the 49ers should have a solid chance at running the ball well and in general moving the ball on Seattle, because their pass defense isn't much better at all than their run defense. Their run defense, last week it got a 68.7, like I said, and the pass defense got a 57. So it's actually worse than their running defense. So if the 49ers can get into a rhythm, establish the running game early, I know Coleman might be back for this game. This is where I want to give a message to Kyle Shanahan. Do not start Tevin Coleman. Do not let Coleman get in there and get the bulk share of the carries. Look, I know Jeff Wilson's injured. I know your running backs are depleted, but I think this is going to be a JaMycal Hasty day. I think it has to be a JaMycal Hasty day in order for the 49ers to win easily. If they don't want this like another Week 17 nail-biter coming down to a Dre Greenlaw tackle at the goal line, I think they need to have JaMycal Hasty in there heavily, because Tevin Coleman is just not a featured back. I think he's a quality 1-2 punch. You could probably put him in there in the short distance downs, maybe goal line scenarios, because he's a big physical back. He can get the short yardage, no problem. But for the most part, he's not the finesse, elusive, fast type running backs like a JaMycal Hasty or Raheem Mostert. So I think if Kyle Shanahan can get JaMycal Hasty going early and get his day going really well, the 49ers have a nice chance here, because like I said, the Seahawks defense is bad. They looked bad against the Cardinals, the Vikings, even the Dolphins. And look, don't get me wrong, I know the Dolphins hung 40 plus on the 49ers, but that game is essentially a scratch. The Seahawks played like they play in every game when they played the Dolphins, where it comes down to the last seconds. And if it wasn't for them being forced to settle for some field goals instead of touchdowns, they likely lose that game. So I think the 49ers should be going into Sunday pretty confident. Although I do want to give a heads up that, coming back from New England is no small feat. That plane ride, you get jet lagged, and as long as the player's mindset is right, and let's also remember they haven't lost on the road yet. And Seattle's not like any other place. I understand that, but neither is New England. Neither is Foxborough. And they just went into Foxborough and handed Bill Belichick his worst loss at home since becoming the Patriots head coach. So I actually really like the 49ers' chances here. However, on the flip side, some of the defensive keys to victory is they cannot allow Russell Wilson to, one, escape the pocket, and two, have all day back there to throw. Because his receivers, if it turns into backyard football, it's going to be a tough day for this 49ers defense, because his receivers and Russell Wilson are in sync like I've almost never seen before. It's like Patrick Mahomes. They know that if the play is still going, if Patrick Mahomes is still looking for one of them in the backfield, they can just get open, and no matter where they are in the field, he'll put the ball in a breadbasket. So Russell Wilson is similar, and DK Metcalf is as strong and as physical and as fast as a receiver that I've seen in a long time. It really makes you question what some of these draft pundits were thinking when they were just talking about, oh, he's just a draft bust. He's just got some giant muscles on him. He's not going to be much. Yeah, talk about over analyzing that guy, because he looks like a fantastic receiver, and his best threat is the deep threat. And of course, he couldn't have landed with a better quarterback than Russell Wilson, who throws arguably the best deep ball in all of the NFL. With all that said, the 49ers need to make sure they do not allow Wilson enough time to throw that deep bomb down to Metcalf or Lockett, because these guys can beat you single-handedly. They're going to have to get Russell Wilson down early and often. I think that they're going to need to get some sacks in this game, and it's no easy task. I understand it's easier said than done, but Russell Wilson's offensive line is also horrible. So if the 49ers can just get to him, even if they just pressure him throughout the day, I think that they have a solid chance. And another key to victory is got to be coaching. It's got to be coaching, guys. Pete Carroll, say what you want about the man, the gum-chewing a-hole coach from Seattle. He's a great head coach, and he keeps his players motivated. And Kyle Shanahan, sometimes it seems like gets in his own head. Sometimes it seems, and I've said this on the show before, sometimes it seems like Kyle Shanahan is thinking outside of the box that he's already thinking outside of, and it just kind of gets all diluted and convoluted, and everything gets messy. So as long as Kyle Shanahan stays out of his own way, I think the 49ers will do okay. And that also entails getting Jimmy Garoppolo, getting his confidence up early, getting some easy throws like we saw last week against the Patriots, essentially extended handoffs to the side, tossing it to your wide receivers in the backfield, even your running backs, and some short distance, high percentage throws, because once Jimmy gets that rhythm going, he's really good. He's really good. So the game plan, I would say, is equally as important as the players on Sunday, because we've seen with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's not the type of player that can, kind of once the play breaks down, he can extend and make things happen on his own. He can't really improv that. So it needs to be scripted. It needs to be according to plan. If not, Jimmy Garoppolo, it's like his whole mindset and when he's developing these plays, when he's processing these plays in his brain, it's like it just burns up as soon as the play doesn't go as planned. And then he throws a boneheaded interception or an incomplete pass at best. So as long as it's all working according to plan, Jimmy Garoppolo should be able to execute that game plan. And I believe, I don't have the stat in front of me, but I know it was, I think Pro Football Focus tweeted out a stat that within 2.5 seconds, if Jimmy Garoppolo gets the ball out, his passer rating is like essentially perfect, like 150, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. If you guys know the stat, put it down below. I should have had it up. But if it takes longer than 2.5 seconds, it drops down to like 50. So 150, 158.3 is perfect passer rating. So it's essentially perfect all the way down to 50. It's not great, guys. So Jimmy Garoppolo, if that's not a tale of two Jimmys right there, I don't know what is. And that encapsulates perfectly what you can expect from him as a player. He's not going to go out there and extend plays and keep the play alive and keep looking downfield as he's evading pressure. That's not just his style. He's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not going to do that. And look, not many are. Nobody is. I mean, Russell Wilson's arguably the closest that it gets to Patrick Mahomes, and I'd argue there's still a noticeable talent gap. So Jimmy Garoppolo is what he is at this point. I don't think the 49ers can expect him to come out. And even as bad as the Seahawks defense is, I don't want to see Jimmy throw, 7, 8 deep balls in this game because I don't think it's there yet. And it may not ever be there. His talent, his touch on his accuracy on these deep balls, as long as these players are open enough to where you don't have to risk an interception by throwing it down there, then fine, go for it. But if he's throwing it into double coverage, trusting his arm, that's where you see Jimmy get the 49ers in trouble. And I hope the 49ers aren't placing him in too many positions on Sunday to where he has to do that. So real quick, just to recap, set the tempo. Number one, make sure you come out, score early, keep the foot on the gas, and let the Seahawks know you are there to play. You're there to win. You're there for a business meeting. You're there to get the job done. And I think that they need to also, number two, get JaMycal Hasty involved, make sure that he is going early on as well, get those legs churning, because JaMycal Hasty, from what we've seen, is a really talented back. He's a really nice weapon for the 49ers to have, especially with Mostert out. We don't know if Tevin Coleman's playing. Jeff Wilson was just placed on IR. So to still go through all those guys, he's your fourth string running back. And for him to still be a viable option and a really nice weapon in the NFL, that's great. That's a great problem to have. So JaMycal Hasty, get him going. Game plan needs to be on point. Kyle Shanahan needs to outcoach Pete Carroll because he needs to have everything going well for Jimmy, like I said. And lastly, we could touch on Jimmy as well, because I think Jimmy Garoppolo, he needs to eliminate the mental mistakes. And maybe that comes with getting going early. Maybe that comes with getting some confidence in himself. It seems like we shouldn't have to press that reset button once the fourth quarter of the game ends every week. We should be able to continue that confidence in from last week. But I mean, who knows? This season's been so hard to judge Jimmy Garoppolo due to the offensive line, the lack of the receiver weapons to start the year, his ankle injury. Hopefully the last 2 weeks has kind of been a more promising sign of what to expect from him moving forward. And if so, I think the 49ers should be able to win this game comfortably. I'm going to be a little bit of a tease here. I'm not going to give my final score prediction. We will be going live Saturday evening around 5 p.m. Pacific time here on YouTube and on Twitter via Periscope. Join us then for our live stream. I'll be joined by Anthony Perry, my co-host of the Red and Gold Standard podcast. And, we'll be able to go out there and just live stream with you guys, take questions, take comments, and we will both be giving our MVP predictions as long as our final score predictions. I just wanted to come, drop an episode of Niners News, give you guys some keys to victory. I love talking with you guys here. I love doing these videos. I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Niners News here on 49ers Hive. If you guys are new here, like I said in the beginning of the video, do us a solid, hit that subscribe button. We are very close to, I believe, 1,100 subscribers. Once we get to 2,000, guys, we will be giving away another 49ers jersey of your choice. If you're watching this, could be you. You could have a nice Fred Warner jersey, a Nick Bosa jersey, a Deebo Samuel jersey. Whatever the choice is, that is up to the winner. We've already given away, I believe, 3 jerseys since we've started this channel just a few months ago. So if you're watching this, you're new, you like the content, you want to support us, hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button, drop a comment below. Like I said again in the beginning, we will give someone some free merch if they happen to correctly predict the final score of this game in the comments below. So go ahead and get on that. And also, guys, you saw an ad a bit ago about our Teespring store. That link will be in the description below. Make sure you guys use code HIVE20 for 20% off your entire purchase. We got some really cool designs on there, and I'm really proud with how that Teespring store is shaping up. So make sure you guys go and grab some gear today. But like I said, that's going to do it for us today, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Niners News.